right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Sunshine on Sunday. Well, at least for part of the day. Clouds are increasing. We're tracking that next weather system and looking ahead to the Cardinals opening day.
An officer on the mend. He was seriously wounded in a shooting almost 2 weeks ago. Tonight, the family of Adam Sullentrup give an update on his condition. But first, a man is behind bars after admitting to police that he threw rocks at vehicles from the Hampton Overpass onto I-64. Tonight, victims react to potential justice being served.
You're hurting people's lives, you're hurting people's money that they really work really hard for.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Holden Kerwicki. Brent Solomon has the night off. Over the past few weeks, several people have contacted 5 on Your Side about their car getting damaged by pieces of concrete while driving under the Hampton Overpass. Tonight, our Travis Cummings reached back out to those victims to get their reaction to the arrest. Travis.
Yeah, Holden, we've heard from at least 5 victims who have had either their windshield or hood smashed. They weren't sure if they'd ever find out who was behind this. And after expensive repairs and anxiety, they're glad to see some progress.
This entire windshield was cracked and the dent was right here.
College student Lillian Courtois is glad to be back in her own car.
It looks really good and I'm really happy.
It spent some time in the shop.
You have things that you need to do or want to do and you can't because you don't have a car.
Courtois was one of several people 5 on Your Side spoke to about driving on I-64 underneath the Hampton Overpass and having their cars smashed in by pieces of concrete. On Saturday afternoon, St. Louis police say they arrested a 37-year-old man who admitted to throwing rocks from the bridge during a line of questioning. A month later, Courtois is glad justice could be served.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised, but also kind of relieved that maybe I could just, finally drive over there without having to feel like I'm going to get my car, damaged again.
At first, some thought it might have been chunks of concrete falling from the overpass itself. MoDOT scanned the bridge for issues, but found no evidence of failure. Others claimed they did see someone throwing rocks from the bridge, but police hadn't confirmed that. Bob Paulson, another victim, responded to the development and part, quote, "I am glad they caught someone before more damage, possible injury or death occurred." Paulson added, "I hope the man is prosecuted and pays for the damage he has caused." And like Courtois, wants to know what led to such a malicious act.
What are you getting out of it? And also, you're hurting people's lives, you're hurting people's money that they really work really hard for.
Investigators haven't released a motive or the dates of these incidents. They say warrants will be applied at the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office.
Travis, thank you. Developing tonight, the Major Case Squad is investigating a homicide in Breckenridge Hills. Last night, police responded to a shots fired call near Prince Market and Liquors on St. Charles Rock Road. They found 54-year-old Chucky White of St. Anne dead in the parking lot. Right now, a suspect has not been identified. Anyone with information is asked to contact Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. Tonight, more concerns of gun violence in Soulard. Last night, gunshots rang out near 9th and Allen Street. One resident says they heard over 25 gunshots in a short amount of time. It's the third straight Friday night that gunfire has been reported in the neighborhood. Right now, police say several residents reported seeing 4 to 5 men running in the street as shots were fired. Right now, police in Macomb, Illinois are investigating a deadly shooting near the campus of Western Illinois University. Officers responded to a shots fired call at a house on North Johnson Street around 2 this morning. They say gunfire erupted after a fight broke out at a party. One person died at the scene and 10 people were injured. Police say the victim was not a student, but 6 of those injured were. New tonight, the family of Herman police officer Adam Sullentrup say he is improving. Sullentrup has been upgraded to stable condition but remains in the ICU. He's being treated at Mercy Hospital in Creve Coeur. On Sunday, March 12th, Sullentrup and Detective Sergeant Mason Griffith were called to the Casey's gas station in Herman. That's when police say Kenneth Lee Simpson shot the officers. Griffith died from his injuries. Sullentrup was seriously wounded. The Sullentrup family released a statement saying, quote, "It will be a long road to complete recovery, but we are confident with continued patience, love, excellent medical care, and the grace of God, he will continue on a path to full and complete recovery." Charges have been filed in a double murder in Lincoln County. Davion McRoberts is accused of killing his grandparents at their home in Troy on Tuesday night. He was charged Friday with murder and armed criminal action. Kathy and Donald McRoberts were beloved in their community where they spent most of their time giving back. The couple spent the last 5 years volunteering at the Calvary Chapel Food Pantry in Troy. Today, extra volunteers were on hand on the first Saturday without them. The food pantry director tells 5 on Your Side the McRoberts were the support system for their entire family.
They're always talking about their kids and their grandkids, and Kathy was always like, I gotta go get my babies. So everything for them was about their family and doing stuff for their kids and grandkids. So the fact that anybody could do anything to them just seemed shocking. And then when we found out it was someone in their own family, even worse, because they would give you their shirt off their back. They would do anything.
If you would like to donate to the food pantry, just head to our website, ksdk.com, and look for the story under the As Seen on TV section. It's been 5 months since a deadly school shooting at Central Visual and Performing Arts High School. Today, the teacher killed that day is being honored with a single act of heroism award from the Congressional Medal of Honor Society. Jean Kushka was selected after she protected her students as the shooter entered her classroom, saving innocent lives. Derek Rapp, who worked alongside Kushka to raise money for JDRF, says the day is bittersweet.
She remains a source of inspiration to us all. So even in her passing, she still is making an impact in so many ways. At the same time, I'm of course so sorry that she's not here. I'm sorry that she isn't getting to see the appreciation that people feel for her.
Kushka is one of only 5 civilians to receive the award, which recognizes Americans who accomplish extraordinary feats of heroism by risking their lives for the benefit of others in dire situations. Clear skies tonight over downtown St. Louis, and the heavy rains that we dealt with seemingly all week are long gone, but another system is making its way across the bi-state. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us now with your weather first forecast. Scott, I enjoyed that sunshine today.
Yeah, it was nice to see the clouds break up later this morning, and through the afternoon we ended up with that mostly sunny sky, and it turned out to be a great afternoon around St. Louis weather-wise. Tonight, there's a little disturbance working through, and there's another little disturbance that we have to deal with tomorrow. But certainly looking over St. Louis right now, everything looks good. There's your band of showers working across eastern Kansas. We are anticipating that kind of fizzling on us as we head towards daybreak. So slim chances of any rain tonight, mainly north of St. Louis. Upper 30s, lower 40s. And let's be honest, we don't need any more rain after that 2 to 4 inches that was fairly widespread across the area. Rivers continue on the rise. The Merrimack River near crest right now at Sullivan. Eureka and Valley Park will reach moderate flood stage on Monday. Maybe enough in Eureka to get some of the high school athletic fields a bit wet. We'll see just how high it goes. And the Big River at Burnsville is still on the rise. It's cresting tomorrow in the moderate flood stage. The Burbus River, Kaskaskia River, they're still rising. They will start to fall over the next couple of days, but they stay in the minor flood stage. Next rain chances, could it be for the opening day ceremonies at Busch? More in a minute.
A march of solidarity. Dozens of drag queens took to the streets of the Grove tonight. Their message to lawmakers across the nation.
We don't know who's alive and who's gone, and just trying to hold it together.
Dozens are dead after a powerful tornado hit Mississippi last night. Now, search and rescue crews are digging through the debris, looking for any survivors.
Tonight, dozens of people dressed in drag marched through the Grove neighborhood. Organizers say anti-LGBTQ and anti-trans bills that are being passed across the country are inspiring them to demonstrate. And they say tonight's demonstration is in response to that recent legislation passed in Tennessee that would ban drag shows and drag queens.
Drag is not a crime. Being trans is not a crime. We are human beings who are making a living, who contribute to society. A lot of drag queens do a lot of work for nonprofits and raise money. I, as a drag queen and a trans woman, have done both of those. So it's not the deviant behavior that they think it is.
Following the march, drag supporters held a rally in the Grove. Right now, Missouri lawmakers are discussing several bills that target drag shows. And some good news, a special reunion took place today at Gateway Pet Guardians. In late January, the animal rescue organization received a call about a beagle in distress. Bessie had numerous medical problems, including a massive tumor, and she was pregnant. She delivered 3 puppies, but only the runt, Birdie, survived. Bessie recently had her tumor removed, and she recovered at a foster home. After being apart for 2 weeks, Bessie and Birdie were reunited this afternoon. Look how cute that is there.
That is cute. And you know, it's still not too bad out there if you want to let the dog out to do some business here before we get to the weather in about 10 minutes. We're talking temperatures in the 40s. A few clouds are rolling in, and there is a rain chance on Sunday. We'll break down the timing on that next.
Following the collapse of Silicon Valley and Signature banks, some politicians are claiming former President Trump rolled back regulations for banks that could have possibly prevented the collapse. Ariane Didal with the National Verify team looks into how banking regulations have changed in recent years.
During a speech regarding the government response to the Silicon Valley Bank collapse on March 13th, President Biden said,
"We put in place tough requirements on banks like Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. Unfortunately, the last administration rolled back some of these requirements."
So let's verify. Were bank regulations rolled back during the Trump administration? Our sources are the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, the Economic Growth, Regulatory Relief and Consumer Protection Act, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and David Ely, finance professor at San Diego State University. In 2010, Congress passed the Dodd-Frank Act. The legislation was aimed to prevent the excessive risk-taking within banks that led to the 2008 financial crisis. Under the Dodd-Frank Act, banks with at least $50 billion in assets were subject to certain requirements like enhanced capital and liquidity standards. But in 2018, former President Trump signed the Economic Growth, Regulatory Relief and Consumer Protection Act, which raised that threshold for banks to $250 billion. It also gave the Federal Reserve the option to apply stricter requirements for banks with at least $100 billion in assets. David Ely, a finance professor at San Diego State University, says the rollback was meant to ease the burden of stricter regulations for smaller banks. If the original Dodd-Frank law were still in place, both Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank would have been subjected to the stricter regulations. So we can verify, yes, bank regulations were rolled back during the Trump administration. But according to Ely, it's difficult to say whether those requirements would have prevented the collapses of Silicon Valley and Signature banks.
I think the fundamental causes of their collapse were more due to some poor management decisions and maybe some red flags that were overlooked in the basic regulation of the institution.
With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
What would you like for us to verify? Just reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, or email verify@kstk.com. Right now, at least 26 people are dead after a powerful tornado ripped through Mississippi last night. The governor of the state has issued a state of emergency. In the small town of Rolling Fork, many homes and businesses are completely destroyed. Search and rescue teams are on the ground working to find those that are missing. One business owner says she and others survived the tornado by hiding in a freezer.
Then all of a sudden the lights started flickering, and I don't know if it was me or somebody who said cooler, and my husband started just pushing us all in the cooler, and this little spot saved our life.
Such a terrifying situation. Tomorrow, more severe weather is expected across portions of the South that will bring damaging winds, isolated tornadoes, and severe hail to the region. We're joined now by Weather First meteorologist Scott Connell. And Scott, you've been doing this for over 30 years, and you actually said you saw something on the radar with this storm that you'd never seen before.
Yeah, you know, just the way the debris dropped out, and only in the last 10 or 11 years can we actually confirm with a tornado that, you know, there is debris that's been lofted into the air, and in this case, lofted 25, 30,000 feet in the air. It's just something that's just really heartbreaking. And then you see the aftermath of it, and you know how bad it's going to be, or you can guesstimate how bad it's going to be, but I don't think anything just does it justice. You see those storms last night as they moved across Mississippi. Mississippi. That one in particular intensifying here, and that was the one that went through and did so much damage. Now, the National Weather Service teams are out there surveying. They've been out there today. Obviously, it's now dark, so they've concluded what they were going to do for today, but they have given it a preliminary rating of EF4 damage so far with some of the indicators. Not exactly sure what the specifics are, and it's going to take them a while because this was on the ground for a while. The next system coming in from the west, well, that'll give us a chance for a couple of spritzes and sprinkles overnight, but it's going to fizzle before it gets to St. Louis. Right now out at Lambert, it's nice and quiet. Temperatures right now still in the 40s. We will see those temperatures as we head into tomorrow, jumping back into the 60s. So we start in the low 40s. What's left of those showers overnight kind of fizzles. Some sunshine tomorrow, then the clouds start rolling back in. And during the afternoon and into the evening hours, our chances for rain, they'll increase. This is the second part of that system that slides through here. Temperatures will be in the 40s tomorrow evening. It's all rain for us. And then as we head towards Monday morning, some 30s to around 40 degrees. A pretty good breeze on the way for Monday. Even into Tuesday, it's a little brisk. Temperatures will only be in the 50s for highs, back into the 60s for Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday, of course, it's opening day at Busch Stadium, and the Cardinals come back home to start this season. The chances for rain mostly looking like they are at night as we head towards Thursday. We can't guarantee that, sometime during the game, which starts at 3:10, there wouldn't be at least a light shower. Can't guarantee that wouldn't happen, but it sure looks like they'd be able to get that game in as we go into Thursday. Right now, not a lot of wind in St. Louis. That's a good thing. Sky's mostly clear, 49 degrees. 60 was our high today. Oh, it was 42. We'll be in the same territory tomorrow as we head through the next 10 days. The rain is mostly at night tomorrow, 66 tomorrow afternoon, with a bit of sunshine, especially during the morning, mid-morning hours into early afternoon. Then those clouds roll back in. Probably real limited sunshine Monday and early Tuesday, brisk and chilly. And then by the time we get to Thursday and Friday, upper 60s, low 70s on Friday, probably some storms in here. We think Saturday and Sunday, those should be dry. So, the Cardinals have opening day on Thursday. They get Friday off. It can rain all at once. And then, we're back in business Saturday and Sunday.
And now switching gears from forecasting the weather for opening day to forecasting the opening roster. What do you got in sports?
Well, the opening roster, and it was just an awesome day in St. Louis sports. Yeah. We got some big news on that roster front we're going to get to. And defense. Our team's put on a defensive show tonight, and we've got the highlights to prove it. Stick around. Sports is up next.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
All the time. I dream about it, thought about it ever since I got drafted. As I said, it's my goal to get to the big league, so obviously I'm going to think about it a lot. So it's been on my mind quite a bit, and there's a lot of work to get there, but I'm ready to do it for sure.
Dream no longer, Jordan Walker. You will be stepping into the Busch Stadium batter's box in less than a week. The Cardinals announced tonight that the 20-year-old phenom would have a place on the opening day roster. Also in, Taylor Motter and Zach Thompson, notably out, Juan Yepez and Genesis Cabrera. B squad in Port St. Lucie to face the Mets tonight down in Florida. Andre Palante on the hill, he made the big club. It won't be long till this guy does too. Mason Wynn with the play of the spring. Diving stop, runs a second, fires to first for the double play. He is special, folks. This is special too. Jordan Hicks tops out at 105. There you see it on the radar gun. Sheesh. Some more Mason Wynn for you. Smokes this into the gap. He's off to the races. He's going to wind up all the way on third base. He's going to join his buddy Jordan Walker in St. Louis soon enough. This game ended in a 4-4 tie. Earlier today, Cardinals A lineup facing the Marlins. Genesis Cabrera got the start, but we know he's not starting the season with the Cardinals. He's going to Memphis. Nolan Arenado, he's now hitting .579 in spring training. He gets a bloop for 2 RBIs right there. An impressive outing for the 2022 draftee Bryson Moutz. He closes this one out by striking out the side. Cardinals win 3-2.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
From Florida to Utah, City SC is up in the mountains tonight facing Real Salt Lake, attempting to stay perfect on the season and move to 5-0. City up at that high, tough altitude in Utah. And they have a knack for creating big moments, and they did it again tonight. Right before the end of the first half, it's the keeper, Roman Berkey, with the best save of the season. Are you kidding me? Let's see it again here, closer up. That is big time. Then right after the break, literally right after the break, corner kick, and it's Nico Giucchini. Man, is that skill. City goes up 1-0, and guess who would make it even better? It's the man we've come to know by one name, Klaus. He has 2 goals tonight, and he's our star on Sports Plus tomorrow night. Right now, City SC leads it 4-0 very late in this one. While the big team was out in Utah, the City SC crew back here in St. Louis hosted the City Cup today at SLU High. The club brought a couple hundred kids out to play some indoor soccer and get autographs from City 2 players. For the club, this is all about giving kids a chance to fall in love with the sport and letting them play for free.
Kids deserve to have a chance to play the game. Lots of the clubs, they charge a lot, and we are tackling the pay-to-play model. We want every kid all over the city to have a chance to play soccer, enjoy the game of soccer, and have a chance to be seen.
AJ McCarron and the Battlehawks looking to get back on track facing the Vegas Vipers tonight. AJ was throwing dimes. He finds Darius Shepard. That made it 17-0. The defense was balling tonight too. Here's Lavert Hill's second pick of the day. And back to McCarron later on. He was superb. 236 yards, 3 touchdowns. Here's the last one, again to Shepard. That is a thing of beauty. Battlehawks stomp Vegas 29-6. They're now 4-2 on the year. Blues have the nightcap right now in Anaheim. Jordan Bennington back in net. Blues were down early, but Justin Falk finds the new guy, Jacob Verana. He buries another one. That's his 6th already in St. Louis. Right now, Blues lead 3-2 after 1. Jordan Walker, quick note, if he does start on opening day, he'll be the youngest player to start for the Cardinals on opening day in 100 years.
That is interesting.
That's
right
crazy.
there.
That would be fun, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
It's going to happen, too.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, guys, that's all of our time here at 5 on your side at 10. We hope you have a great night.